I'm in hypomania. And I mean genuinely, unfortunately, in hypomania. And if you follow this channel for any given period of time, you probably know that I don't normally have insight into hypomania. I normally only realize that I was in hypomania when I've swung into depression. But this time is different. And I'm not 100% sure why it was different. So maybe you can help me figure that out. But I kind of want to... That didn't come out right. I kind of want to talk about it. Get some stuff off my chest. Maybe explain a little bit of the inner Kit's brain experience that I've been dealing with for the last few weeks. And maybe figure out what's going on. But really, this all started before I had my speaking engagement out in San Diego that I did post about. And the event itself was great. But the days leading up to it, I was really excited. I was really hyper about stuff. I was getting in the mood to do this big talk that I'd been working on for a while. And I did the event, and it was great. And normally, the heightened nature of an event, whether it's a trip overseas, a trip domestically, a trip that involves like an anime or a comic convention, I have these high energy states where I'm like in the moment, I'm enjoying the event, and then I come home and I kind of crash a little bit. In the cosplay world, we call this post-con depression, or PCD. But there's not really a term for it in the general population when it comes to coming back from a trip and just having a down mood state. And so I was excited on my trip, and I did really well on the trip. The talk was amazing. And like I did an amazing job, I think. Everyone seemed to like it. But on the way back, I really started struggling because I have this weird travel thing where like I always have issues getting back from a place. I have no issues getting to the place, but on the way back, I'll run into like airline delays and baggage issues and stuff. And so this time was no different. The way it worked was I actually was in the airport around 10 a.m. California time, and then I did not go to sleep until 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. And I don't feel like doing the math of how many hours I was awake. But the problem with me is that a lot of my hypomania issues come from a lack of sleep. They come from doing too much in too short of a time frame, so to speak. I often wonder whether me doing a lot is because of hypomania or if I am hypomanic because I do a lot. That's the kind of thing I haven't quite figured out yet, and I'm not sure I ever will. It's kind of like a chicken-egg situation, what came first. But anyways, I was in the airport and stressed out. My mother actually, bless her heart, she drove to the entire wrong airport, totally just had a brain fart there, and so that delayed things a lot more. And the problem with that was that I also had to delay taking my medication because my medication makes me tired, and if I was to take medication in an airport when I didn't know necessarily when my mother was going to come pick me up, yeah, you can see how that could be bad. So I had to delay taking my psychiatric medication. So in addition to being up a lot, up for a long period of time on the way back, and feeling the crash from the travel, and not taking my meds when I'm supposed to take them, yeah, it was kind of a recipe for disaster. And so the thing is, because of that specific event, I kind of started being on a alert state for hypomania because it's a stressful life event. It was a stressful situation. I made a video a long time ago where I basically was almost crying because I was scared of an episode happening. And it's so weird knowing that video was made and I was upset in that video. And then now here I am in an episode and I'm like, I'm fine, but we'll get to that. So I'm on alert for hypomania. And the thing is that some people will say, well, why do you go on trips? And I would say, I live life. Just because I run the risk of getting an episode when I travel or do something does not mean I'm not going to live my life. I'm going to tell you right now, 9 out of 10 trips, maybe even higher than that, maybe like not 95 out of 100, but a high percentage of trips and cons and events I go to, I don't have episodes. Like, even if I have issues traveling, like when I came back from Scotland and my dad and I had issues getting back from Scotland, I absolutely did not get an episode, and I was expecting to possibly get an episode, and I didn't get one. So that just goes to show that there's some like, I don't know, there's some power I've got over my illness in the sense that I'm managing it well enough that I don't get episodes every single time I travel. But I think the delayed medication, the delayed sleep and everything, it kind of had me on high alert. And I would ask my dad, am I hypomanic? Am I hypomanic? And he'd be like, no. But he kind of thought that I was on a launch phase, so to speak. And we had a conversation. We had a conversation about this, my dad and I, because he sees me or talks to me almost every single day. He sees things before they get really bad, and he'll sometimes see things way before I do. And I don't know why he doesn't tell me, except for the fact that I probably would disagree with him, and that's why he doesn't tell me. But I had this, like, down bit for, like, probably a week after the speaking event, where I was just kind of, like, a little bit depressed. Not, like, super depressed, but, like, down depressed. And I just took care of myself. I didn't really qualify it as actual depression, which is why I didn't make any posts about it. I mean, I was still, like, uploading content and posting and things. Like, I was still doing what I needed to do in my life, and I was still going to work. I was still showing up for my friends. Like, I was still doing all that stuff, but I was definitely on a down, and it wasn't so great. And honestly, I thought with that feeling that I was in the clear, because normally hypomania comes first, and then the depression comes later. And I thought, okay, maybe I just, hit the down. Okay, because there's a down, there is no high. And so I was kind of thinking that I might have made it off scot-free. But the problem is that once I recovered from the talk and everything that had happened with it, I got motivation. And I mean, like, motivation that I can't normally sustain. And because I was on alert for hypomania, I was like, I wonder, is this hypomania? And I was like, nah, not yet. And so I was doing a bunch of creative planning because, for example, my family has a beach house, and we're breaking down the beach house to build a new one because the current one is kind of unsafe for the most part. I'm still going there to take a bunch of photos this coming weekend, but that's beside the point. I actually just went ahead and jumped ahead to the whole thing. But anyway, we're breaking down the beach house, and I'm going to do some photo shoots to kind of, like, have my last hurrah. Because, like, I'm a creative. You guys know I love taking photos and videos and everything. And so I figured doing a bunch of fun themed photo shoots in the house before it's broken down and destroyed forever would be something that was worth doing. And so I obsessively started planning these photo shoots, way more in depth than my normal photo shoots that I do. Like, I started this project at the beginning of the year to do 52 photo shoots in 52 weeks, and I've been keeping it up very well. And this is part of that project. But normally I'm only able to focus on, like, one photo shoot at a time and not more than that. And so I was able to obsessively plan, like, 9 different photo shoots, and I still had others in the mix. And I started thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe we're building into something, but I still didn't quite believe it. And so more time passed. And last weekend, I'm filming this video on Tuesday. So this is probably gonna go up on a Saturday, like my normal long form videos do, but I filmed this on the Tuesday before this video was uploaded. And I made a bunch of stuff over the weekend. I made new patterns for sewing projects, and I made a lot, and I had the energy to do it. I did not take any breaks. I think I ate. I don't remember, but when I'm hypomanic, my hunger signals are more messed up than usual. And I just made stuff. And then I planned my photo shoots, and the other day I also, like, tried on all the outfits and took a bunch of pictures, and normally I can only really do 1 set of pictures per day, basically, maybe 2. Like, I have a hard time having enough energy to do more than that. And this just continued, and then I realized today at work. I called my dad and I told him that I think I was in hypomania. Like, I think. And he was like, oh yeah. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of realized it was one of those things where, like, the people in my life, whenever they tell me, hey, you might be in hypomania, I go, no, I'm not in hypomania. How dare you say that? And I kind of attack them a bit. And so I've learned that that's why people don't typically tell me I'm in hypomania and they wait for me to figure it out myself. But it's one of those things that, like, as a lot of you guys know, I struggle with insight when it comes to hypomania. And so having it now talking to you is a really weird situation. And being in that weird situation is unique and kind of, it's exciting from a scientific perspective because I'm sitting here knowing that basically my brain is redlining itself because it's giving me artificial energy that it will not be able to sustain. And I'm going to have motivation to hopefully get through the photo shoots this weekend because the thing about hypomania for me, it doesn't require treatment. I don't need to go to a psychiatric hospital. I don't need to up my psychiatric medication. I'm still taking my meds as I'm supposed to take them. I'm still getting enough sleep. I'm still prioritizing eating. I'm actually doing, if you DBT people out there, I'm doing the please skills, which is like a whole like take care of yourself DBT skill. And so I'm doing all of that. And that's the best I can do with this whole situation is when I'm in hypomania. I say this like this happens all the time and I always know it, but like I have the skills through DBT and through my therapist that, like, you know, to help me like slow down and chill out a bit and all that stuff. And me making this video is part of that because this is helping me process the whole situation because my videos help me process what happens to me because of my disorder. So thank you for joining me on that journey. Oh boy. But anyway, being in hypomania now, I don't have the, I'm not talking off the wall too much. I might be talking faster than usual, but I did make a video over a year ago now of me actually having pressured speech in hypomania talking about absolute nonsense. It's like a 12-minute video. It's one of the most viewed videos on my channel. And I'm not that level. I don't think I've been at that level yet, and I don't know if I will. I could, who knows, maybe by the end of this video. But I just kind of feel like I'm on a precipice and it's very frustrating because I know, and I'm not thinking about this, but I know that on the other side of this, there are probably 2 or 3 weeks of depression waiting for me. Not like full on major depression, but depression nonetheless, because that's what happens. I've never gotten hypomania and not had depression, except when I was all the way back in elementary school experiencing little baby kid hypomanic symptoms for the first time when there was no depression yet. But ever since the 8th grade, when depression showed its face for the first time, depression has been a part of my life. It's been a part of the cycle. And it's so weird because I know that's coming. And again, I made that video feels like forever ago now, but I made a video saying I might be headed into an episode and I was crying and I was upset and I was so worried about it because I didn't want it to happen again. And now I'm here and I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. This is fantastic. And I cannot express to you how messed up that is. How messed up my brain in thinking that there are no consequences to what's going on, because that's the thing, mania and hypomania. I feel like there are no consequences to anything I do. Just like I feel like there's no consequence to hypomania itself. And there's a major consequence. There's always a down with me now. I remember when I was in high school and experiencing cyclothymia, which was a milder mood disorder where the highs don't meet criteria for hypomania and the lows don't meet criteria for depression. But I had symptoms that were a very rapid up and down. And even though my mood disorder side and my schizoaffective disorder has gotten worse over time, I really don't think I have strayed too far from that rapid up, rapid down, because like I still do get these periods where I'm high energy state for a couple hours and then I'm a little bit low. Like I'm feeling a little bit low as well. And then it's like this, it's just this thing, this little sine wave. And before I was taking the proper psychiatric medication, it would be like 3 days up, 3 days down, or maybe a week up, a week down, that kind of thing. And so this whole thing where I was like on the higher energy state of like getting up to the speaking event, doing the speaking event, all the way to the down afterwards, I think that sharp turn potentially could have what swung me back up again. And I am back up again. And so I guess the way I want to describe it, and I don't know how long this video is going to be, and I'm sorry if it's like super long and everything, but it's almost, there's a part of me that's like, I'm glad I'm here. There's a part of me that's like, I love this. A part of me is like, let's friggin' go. Like, that is what my brain is saying right now. It's saying you're gonna have energy to get through the week, and you're gonna have energy to do your photo shoots, and it's only my logical brain telling me that it will end, because my brain thinks, oh, this is gonna keep going. This is gonna keep going forever. Kit, you're gonna be able to sustain this for like long periods of time. You can do anything. And I know logically that's not true. I know logically that's not how this works. But hypomania is just this weird, twisted way of thinking that has the logic is all messed up. And again, I'm telling you this because I'm very self-aware and I know these things, but it's like trying to tell somebody, like, say I see the sky is like, actually that's a hallucination metaphor. I'm trying to think of what would be the best way to do it. I don't know. It's just like trying to, like, knowing logically that 2 + 2 = 4, but having something in my brain that's telling me that right now 2 + 2 = 5. But I still know logically that 2 + 2 = 4, even though my brain goes 2 + 2 = 5. Maybe that's a way to describe it. But it's just, it's a complicated thing. And I often say that, like, the mood disorder side of the condition is the one I struggle with the most, and it's true because it's the one that messes with my life the most. Like, yes, I hear voices, and by the way, the voices, some of you will ask, the voices actually have been more active. I've been experiencing a little bit more of my little friend Jay, who I talked about him on a short form video, but I have this one hallucination that kind of acts like a ghost, not a ghost, but acts like a ghost. And he's been more present lately, like he's shown up more, and the other voices have also been showing up more, and I've gotten more comments, and I had a full conversation today at work that I was just venting about something at work because work was really stressful today. And it's like the hallucinations have been more frequent, yes. So higher energy state, in this case, yes, it meant the hallucinations were there. Were they brighter, happier? Nah, they're kind of the sassy, critical, neutral, good. I mean, I had a mix of all of them, really. I didn't have any bad voices. None of my bad voices showed up, but I did have that. And so I really struggle with the mood disorder side a lot because of how bad it gets on the other side. And like, I really wish there was a part of me that was actually concerned about the upcoming depression. I genuinely wish there was a part of me that was like, hey, maybe you should prepare for the depression. And maybe I will prepare for the depression. Now that I say it out loud, maybe I will. I don't know how. Maybe I'll do some like cooking or something. Or I'll do some grocery shopping. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Yeah. Because it's like how to take care of yourself. But like now that I know I'm in hypomania, I think the one like emotion I'm feeling is excitement. That for now, things are going to be okay. For now, I can handle what life throws at me. For now, I've got this. And I know it's a lie. But for now, in my head, it's true. And maybe there's something to be said for that. And I don't know. I know that for some people, hypomania can like absolutely really wreck things. It can result in intense irritability that ruins relationships and everything. I think some people even have like a PRN for hypomania. But me personally, it's just, I get the bright kind. I get the fun kind. That's the reality. And I've had a lot of fun so far, and I'm gonna have more. And then on the downside, I'll just do the best I can to take care of myself. And if the down is too bad, then I'll call my psychiatrist, or MP. But I am well medicated. I am well managed. I am way more self-aware now than I've ever been because I'm making this video for you right now. But yeah, maybe this one will be okay. But yeah, first time catching it before it's wild. First time catching it before it's too insane. And yeah, that precipice is just, it's just there. And I'm gonna take so many pictures. Tons of pictures. Absolutely. And my apartment's gonna be so clean. And my kitchen is gonna be so clean. And it'll be okay. I'll be okay. So don't worry about me, because I've got it covered. But if you have any tips on, I don't know, slowing down, or maybe how you prepare for depression, if you prepare for depression, drop them in the comments. And if you have any, I don't know, any other tips or anything, I mean, I love reading the comments that you guys send in, so it's fun. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I think I've actually said everything I wanted to say. And I'm sorry that this video is so long, but if you made it to the end, thank you. Really appreciate it. Drop a B in the comments to let me know you made it to this part of the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. So yeah, also YouTube really seems to think that you'd like this video. So go click on that if you want more content from me. But yeah, okay, all right, bye guys.